and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. And I've just sort of blown my mind a bit because whenever I've filmed, I've always angled myself towards there and then had to use a chair to put the books on next to me. But I've just thought, oh, why don't I just put the chair next to the table and then I'll have all the books here. And they are there. So yeah, I've just blown my mind with a little bit of simple rearranging. Welcome to today's booktube video. It is a booktube video of a haul. These are the books that I've hauled in the month of, well, November and December. I've got them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories. Ones that I bought myself, ones that were sent to me by the lovely Philippa from Quick Book Reviews because I took part in her Christmas episode. Some that have been sent from the publisher, some that have been sent from my wish list, which was lovely, and then some that I got from my birthday. But what I will also say is that there is a separate category, which is books that I bought specifically for my Christmas gift guide, which has already gone out. So if you haven't watched that yet, I will link that down below. And that's got 10 books that I thought would make great gifts this year if you are looking to buy bookish gifts for people. So let's crack on. Hurrah! The only book that I've bought myself that isn't in the Christmas gift guide is Three Wise Men by Carol Ann Duffy and illustrated by Julia Klanovsky. I've been waiting for this to arrive. I pre-ordered it, it didn't arrive. And then once I got in touch and said it hasn't arrived and they sent me out another one, it took so long to come here. And in the meantime, I've seen this in like 3 different bookshops, so I could have bought it at plenty of time. And normally, these little Carol Ann Duffy Christmas poems, long form poems that come in these little books, I read this on the 1st of December, so I've been hanging on to it. I think I might read it when I'm in bed tonight. I'm working late tonight, but when I think I get back, what I'll think of when I'm in that meeting, I'll be thinking, hurrah, soon I'll be home and I'll be able to read my lovely Three Wise Men poem from Carol Ann Duffy. They're lovely, long form poems, and they get a different illustrator in every year to illustrate them. As I said, this year is Julia Klanovsky. Sad news is that I can't find any of these. I do not know where they have gone, but I have the whole host of these that I get one every single year. I buy the one that comes out every single year, and I do not know where they've gone. I've had the Christmas books out, they're not there. I do not know. So horrified at that, but at least this year's has arrived, so this will be being read very, very soon. Then I've got the 3 books that Philippa was kind enough to send me to say thank you for being on the Quick Book Reviews Christmas podcast. That is already out, that went out last week, so if you search Quick Book Reviews on whatever podcast platform you were on, you'll be able to find the Christmas episode. I recommend 5 Christmas books, Philippa recommends 5 Christmas books. We have a lovely time talking about Christmas. We do it every year, we've done it, I think this is the 4th year we've done it, and then as a thank you, and she doesn't need to do this, but she tells me she gets a lot of joy out of doing it. She sends me 3 books. Now, I've already opened these on a Friday reading vlog, so you may well have seen them already, but excitingly, here they all are. So I've got Pages & Co, Tilly and the Book Wanderers by Anna James. This is the first in the Pages & Co series. I've listened to these books and had a lovely, lovely time listening to them. But only this year, like Philippa must have read my mind, because only this year I've been thinking, I really would like to revisit those and maybe in print this time. So this is about Tilly, who is a book wanderer, and she can wander into different books and interact with characters in those books. One of the characters she interacts with is Anne of Green Gables, which is a favourite book of mine, but there's also Alice in Wonderland is in there. I believe, I mean, it's been a good, I'd say 6 years since I've read the first one, and I remember her grandmother, is it, who is, yeah, her grandmother is sort of interacting with Mrs. Bennet and Elizabeth Bennet, and I really liked all of that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that in the new year and having a lovely time. Then she sent me A Bookshop of One's Own by Jane Chomley, and this is about how a group of women set out to change the world. And this is about the Silver Moon Bookshop, which was a champion of women writers and feminist literature on London's Charing Cross Road. So yeah, it was opened in the 70s and was set against the backdrop of misogyny and homophobia. This underdog business would defy the odds and grow to become the biggest women's bookshop in Europe. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to reading that. Oh wow, there's a massive page of thank yous at the end, and yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that. And then also this one that I'd never heard of that, but I also haven't heard of this, and this is The Betrayal of Thomas True by AJ West. Spreages. Philippa loves a spread as well. So she sent me this, which I'd not heard of. And since the author's actually contacted me to say, oh, I know Philippa sent you this and I'm so excited for you to read it. So very, very exciting. It says, it's the year 1715 and Thomas True has arrived on Old London Bridge with a dangerous secret. One night, lost against the squalor of London's hidden back streets, he finds himself drawn into the outrageous underworld of the Molly houses. Meanwhile, carpenter Gabriel Griffin struggles to hide his double life as Lottie, the Molly's stoic guard. When a young man is found murdered, he realises there's a rat amongst them, betraying their secrets to a pair of murderous justices. Can Gabriel unmask the traitor before they hang? Can he save hapless Thomas from peril and their own forbidden love? Yeah, it just feels a really nice book, and the font's very nice, and it just looks, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to it. Then I've got two from the publisher. The first one is the new Emma Donoghue book, The Paris Express. Whenever I mention an Emma Donoghue book, I always think, oh, I've got such a love-hate not so much love-hate, but love-miss relationship, because some of the Emma Donoghue books I've absolutely loved. Room, for instance, the Pull of the Stars, which is one we've just bought for David's nan for Christmas, and then some I just haven't got on with at all, so I'm hoping this might be one that I do get on with. Obviously I'm hoping that. And as I said, this is The Paris Express. The turn of the century is approaching, and Paris is as chaotic as it is glamorous. Industry and invention create huge wealth and terrible poverty. One morning, an anarchist boards the... I always have trouble saying anarchist, same as I do saying archivist. An anarchist, not an archivist, boards the ill-fated express train, determined to make her mark on history. Aboard the train are others from across the globe. The railway crew have built a life together away from their wives, a little boy travelling alone for the first time, an artist far from home. Sounds like I'm going to really like this. A wealthy statesman and his invalid wife, and maybe a medical student, and a medical student who suspects a fellow passenger may be dying. As Europe races towards the future and the train speeds towards the city of light, each passenger carries secrets that could prove fatal. So there we go. Strangely, so this is out in March, the 20th of March, and the two books that are mentioned from the Sunday Times best-selling author of The Pull of the Stars and Room, which are my two favourite Emma Donoghue books. There we go. So yeah, I do feel excited about that. Each chapter sort of like is talking about where they're departing from and the time as well, so that sort of makes, so you're obviously reading it in the time that it's happening. I'm looking forward to it. And then I've also got a book about gaming. Now you'll know that I, as in board gaming, I'm very, very into board games. I love to visit a board game cafe. We did it for my birthday twice this year, and I love to sort of sit and play. Like my idea of a good day is, if it's not reading on the sofa or reading in the bed, then it's to sit in at a big table and play lots of board games. David isn't as into board games as I am. He will play some board games, but not as into it. But this is called The Game Changers, How Playing Games Change the World and Can Change You Too. And it's written by Tim Clare, it's non-fiction, and it's about the history of board games. It's really the history of human civilization. Through it we see how our species has learned to live with one another, make deals, take on different roles and manage the ups and downs of luck. In this entertaining and thought-provoking look at games through the ages, Tim Clare explores the legal highs of a good dice roll, the thrills of a predatory race game, and the tactile pleasures of the games that age with us through our lives, and to discover how, through play, we become fully ourselves. So yeah, I think it sounds really good. I've just opened it and it's at chapter 5, which is called The Obligatory Monopoly Chapter. I don't know if this is quite out yet, but I feel like this will make a really good gift. I didn't include it in my, well, it says it was published in 2024. Good gift for a board game lover. So yeah, We Don't Talk About Uno is another chapter. They're very funny chapter titles. Role play, as in game role. There we go, looking forward to that as well. Then I've got some books here that were sent to me from my wish list, which is always an absolute delight. I always have my wish list linked down below, but this time of year, people leave such lovely little messages in them, and yeah, I'm just so grateful to receive things from my wish list. And these are two that I received from the same person. I never name the person because I always feel like I would not want to be named, but thank you if you sent me these. The Green Batch Cookbook by Sam Gates. I love a green cookbook, I love a sort of roasting tin cookbook, and I feel like batch cooking is definitely something that I could get involved in, particularly as I said, I'm working this evening, so like when I'm working evenings, it would be really nice to be able to know that I've got something delish for dinner that's already been sorted at the weekend, and all I need to do is just stick it in the oven. I don't even need to chop anything. So I was very into this. Now I had a little flick through it, and one of the main things that I got so excited about was a hash brown breakfast quiche with spinach and tomatoes. And it gives you, the recipe makes two, so you can have one ready. And I wasn't even thinking about batch cooking for breakfasts, but having a batch, oh my God, I mean, delicious. So yeah, that was my #1 thing I was excited about. There's all sorts of delicious things in here, like vibrant spring green dill and pistachio orzo, love all of those things. Spiced sweet potato oven chips, charred hispy carriage with a butterbean stew, very nice. The old glands are going where I want to eat it so much. Lovely. And then that same person also sent me the second in the Hedge Witch series. I don't know if it's called the Hedge Witch series, but the first book was called Hedge Witch. This is called Woodwitch by Skye McKenna. And yeah, I loved Hedge Witch that I read earlier this year, and really, really enjoyed it. I won't read the blurb from this because this is second in the series, so it might give a little hint as to what happened. But Hedge Witch is about a new witch. What I really like about the sentiment of these books is that witches are made, not born, so you can learn to become a witch, which is something that, like, really, because, like, obviously I ain't been born a witch, or have I? But learning how to become a witch would be lovely. Now, and I had a lovely time with this book. I lent this to my sister, and she had a lovely time with the book, and yeah, it's been really nice. So I'm looking forward to reading this, and this one looks super autumnal and lovely. The other one was also super autumnal and lovely. And then 3 books arrived today, which was a complete surprise and a delight, but 3 Daphne du Maurier books arrived today. They're all on my wish list. I need to go and take them off my wish list, actually. And these are all 3 Daphne du Maurier books that I haven't read before. I read The Parasites in November, which was also one that had been bought for me from my wish list, and it's such a thrill to have Daphne du Maurier books that I don't really know or hear much about, because, well, these 3 titles for certainly, maybe Hungry Hill I have heard about a little bit. I wouldn't be able to tell you what it's about, but like to have the books where you don't really know what's happened in them, compared to like Rebecca, which you've heard about, and My Cousin Rachel, which you've heard about, and things like that. So yeah, I loved Parasite, so I'm hoping that these 3 are all the same. Will I read the blurb? Yeah, let's read the blurb. So Hungry Hill, which is a massive chunky one, is the Brodricks of Clonmere gain great wealth by harnessing the power of Hungry Hill and extracting the treasure it holds. The Donovans, the original owners of Clonmere Castle, resent the Brodrick success and consider the great house and its surrounding land theirs by right. For generations, the feud between the families has simmered, always threatening to break into violence. Woohoo! And then I've got Rule Brittania by Daphne du Maurier. This was Daphne du Maurier's last book, I believe, before she died. Yeah, well, I don't know if it was the last book in total, but it was the last fiction book. Emma wakes up one morning to an apocalyptic world. Oh, I wonder what an apocalyptic world looked like to Daphne du Maurier. The cosy existence she shares with her grandmother, a famous actress, has been shattered. There's no telephone, no radio, and an American warship sits in the harbour. England has withdrawn from the European common market and, on the brink of bankruptcy, has decided that salvation lies in a union, political, military and economic, with the United States. Theoretically, it has to be an equal partnership, but it soon begins to look like a takeover bid. As the 2 women piece together clues about the friendly military occupation on their doorstep, family, friends and neighbours come together to resist the interlopers. I mean, the things that Daphne du Maurier covers in her books, she's got such a wide range, amazing. And then the last one is The Flight of the Falcon. I love these front covers so much. It says, as a tour guide, Armino Fabio leads a pleasant if uneventful life until he is circumstantially involved in the death of a peasant in Rome. The woman, he gradually learns, was his family's beloved servant many years before in his native town of Rafano. Intrigued, Fabio returns to his birthplace and finds it is haunted by the phantom of his brother, Aldo, who was shot down in flames during the war. Over 500 years before, the sinister Duke Claudio, known as the Falcon, lived his twisted, brutal life, preying on the people of Rafano. The town seems to have forgotten its violent histories, but have things really changed? The parallels between past and present become ever more evident. Can you believe that those 3 blurbs are all written by the same person? That's insane. I wonder where this sort of falls in. Flight of the Falcon was the 3rd to last book, and The House of the Strange was the House on the Strand was the penultimate one. But yeah, great. And then I've got a little pile of books that I got for my birthday, which was a lovely treat. My friend Emma bought me The Cat Prince and Other Poems by Michael Peterson. Now, we went to watch Holly McNish do a reading at Faversham Literary Festival earlier this year, and Michael Peterson was the support. And I've actually bought Boyfriends in the Margate Bookshop for Cozy Reading Night, and I didn't end up getting around to it. But he read poems from this, and it was just so lovely. And they're all about sort of like friendship, like male friendships, about cats, love, loss, loveliness. And yeah, I think I'm gonna really enjoy this because I enjoyed hearing from him on the night, which was lovely. And then David bought me a little Countdown to Christmas cross-stitch book, which has got 24 different cross-stitch sort of projects that you're supposed to do in the run up to Christmas. Now, this isn't something I've looked at this year because I have given myself enough work in terms of cross stitch this year, but there are some lovely little projects in here. Some of them though, definitely not something I could achieve in a day, but there's lots and lots of lovely, I can't show you the patterns because that's not how this fun works, but lots of, I can show you like finished things, so like, there you go, some little robin bits and stuff like that. And I've not seen it, which was very nice that he was able to find something that I hadn't seen, so cross stitching. And Jen got me Little Witch Hazel, A Year in the Forest by Phoebe Wall. That was my birthday present. It is beautiful. I haven't got round to reading it, but I think maybe this might be something that I read with my niece in between Christmas and New Year. The illustrations are just gorgeous, and I assume this must be Little Witch Hazel. One afternoon, as Little Witch Hazel made her way home, she found something peculiar, an orphaned egg. Little Witch thought. Can't wait for that. And then the last one is a cookbook that my sister-in-law got me. This is Dinner by Mira Sodha. Mira Sodha, I'm very into her cookbooks. East is one that I cooked from one year. I tried to cook my whole way through it. I didn't cook my whole way through it, but I cooked a lot of stuff in there. And also, is it called Made in India? But she does a lot of, I don't know why I feel so out of breath. She does a lot of vegetarian and vegan food, and this is all vegetarian and vegan dinners, which is lovely. And like, both when I was looking through this and when my sister-in-law was looking through it, like, we both agreed that there is just, it's all thriller, no filler. Like, they're all great, and I'm so excited to make a lot of these. And they're also set in different, like, I really appreciate the setting of her chapters when she does these. So for example, if I just find this, eggs and cheese, and I'm like, yeah, I love paneer. I know there's going to be loads of paneer recipes in here, and there are, and there's loads of egg recipes in that bit, and yeah, it's all done. And then there's also a section where you can eat seasonally at the front. So you can, the first chapter is aubergines. David doesn't like aubergines, but I do. And it gives you an alternative contents. So it gives you a seasonal contents with like recipes for different seasons, and then it gives you an alternative content. So if you wanted to look at like noodle dishes, or you've got rice to use, or you fancy a soup, you can do it that way. But yeah, absolute gorgeous things. I mean, mango and paneer curry, yes please. So like I told you, every single thing's a banger. Celery, saffron and white bean stew. We've got David's family round for dinner this weekend, and we're going to make some things out of here. Wild garlic and new potato curry with lime pickle yoghurt. So there we go. So those are the books that I have got my little mitts on in December and November. Let me know if you have read any of these. Let me know what books you have got your hands on, and I'll see you all again soon for another booktube video. Goodbye!